Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you guys are doing great. In this video, we're gonna talk about email etiquettes. So, I'm your host Tahsin Islam. Without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. Step number 1. Use professional email address. If you are an university student, you should always use your university given mail address. You should always use the student mail so that the teacher knows exactly who is sending the mail. Tip number 2. Subject. Your email subject line is the most important sentence of your entire email. Sometimes students tend to leave this subject line completely empty, and other time they type their entire email in the subject line. The person you are reaching out to should look at the email subject line and have a general idea what this email is about. A study shows that 64% make a decision to open the email based on the subject line alone. The email subject line should be simple and reflect the content of your email. Tip number 2. Use proper salutation. Salutation is a fancy word for your email's greeting. Your salutation can be formal or informal depending on the email's content. Start your email with a hello, dear, good morning, good afternoon. These are appropriate salutations in this situation. Don't use laid-back salutation like hey, hi, yo, guys, etc. It's more suited for mailing your friends, but when you are talking to a professor, it would be too much informal in this context. Tip number 4. Introduce yourself. Tell your lecturer who you are, especially if it's the first time you are mailing to them. They may have hundreds of students across different subjects. Well, it's tempting to go directly to the question or the concern on your mind. Take a minute to briefly remind the person who you are and what are your connections to him. Tip number 5. Keep your email concise. Some emails may be shorter or some are longer, but as a general rule, shorter is better. People today receive a lot of mail, so respect their time by cutting down some unnecessary lines and sentences. Tip number 6. Don't use emojis and acronyms. Don't use emojis. It's considered unprofessional in email. And don't use acronyms like BT, the letter U, LOL, etc. Acronyms can be hard to understand. Always write your emails in proper English form. Take your time. Make sure all your sentences start with a capital letter and all the I's are capitalized. Tip number 7. Know when it's appropriate to send an email in the first place. Emails are not as instantaneous as text messaging. You don't keep sending them one after another. Give your professor a decent amount of time to respond. Tip number 8. Sign off politely. It's a good practice to sign off at the end of the email with a set phrase like kind regards, best wishes, yours sincerely, etc., followed by your name. Be sure to wrap up in a way that portrays kindness. Thank you.